Guys, tell me this. What is the first thing we do every single time we buy a new motorcycle? You know what it is. Put a sick exhaust on it to make it sound good. Now, what's the second thing that we should do, but most of us don't do on said motorcycle that we just put the cool exhaust on? That's right, get it tuned. Sorry, I don't really have a good way of showing the tune, but it's under the seat. See guys, the thing is when you buy a motorcycle, it comes as a perfectly set up system. It's like a meal delivered to you, seasoned to perfection. But when you change something, especially as big as an exhaust, it's like subbing out the kale salad that you know you should eat for the side of fries. Those things are seasoned totally differently, and because of that exhaust, this system needs to run entirely differently. And that is what a tune is for. The problem is, where do you get a bike tuned? Do you go to some local guy? How do you find them? Are they trustworthy? Do you get one of those auto self-tuners? How the heck do those even work? Well, today I'm not doing any of that. Well, I'm getting the 450 SS tuned, but I'm gonna do it the easy way. Don't worry, I'll show you how to do it, and you don't gotta do anything but mail stuff, which also sucks. Sorry, I don't like mailing things. So guys, I've been looking into how to get the 450 SS tuned, not necessarily because it needs it, but I just wanted to get it tuned to go with that awesome Yoshi exhaust that makes the bike sound so good. Insert clip of the bike. Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. Thing sounds so fantastic, but I didn't really know where to go as far as the tuning options. I didn't know if I needed to go to a local person to tune it or whatever. But then I got reached out to a place called Real Talk Power Sports. These guys are doing tunes. Check this. They have a whole YouTube channel you guys can go check out. I'll put a link in the description. These guys are tuning 450 SSs with no modifications, with no Yoshi exhaust, totally stock. And they are seeing on their dyno a 10% power jump. I said that correctly. They are getting a 10% increase in performance out of that motorcycle with literally a tune. It's absolutely insane. So they reached out and they're like, hey Chase, I see you're doing a giveaway on the 450 SS and you're building it out. Do you want to send us your ECU? We'll tune it for you and send it back, and you can see what the gains are yourselves. Because you know, it takes a lot of balls to just be like, I'm not gonna tell you what it'll do, just let us tune it and see what you think for yourself. I really dig the confidence that it takes to do that, because they know I'm gonna make a video on this and they know I'm gonna show you guys the outcome. So I really appreciate stuff like that. So from what I understand, all I have to do is take out the ECU on my 450 SS. I'll show you guys me doing that. I have to mail it to them. I guess they plug it into a machine, hit some freaking numbers and keys, and then they mail it back, and then the bike is different. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove my ECU today. I'm gonna show you guys doing that. I'm gonna mail it off to them, let whatever happens happen. When it comes back, we're gonna get it reinstalled, and I'm gonna take the bike for a ride and see if I can tell any power gains. From what I'm seeing online, I should see a very noticeable power gain from what I'm gonna do. So that's what we're gonna get into today. First off, where the hell is the ECU on this bike, and how do you get it removed so that you can ship it off? Also, if you're new here, this is my CFMOTO 450 SS. That is my 300 SS. I am currently doing a giveaway on both of them. If you guys want to win that one or that one, you can get entries for both over at WBRgarage.com. I'm not going to go into all the details. You guys can check that out on the website. You can literally win bikes that we give away. We've been doing it for a while. We know what we're doing here. And if you search on there, there's free options. Anyway, let's find the ECU. So guys, long story short, the ECU is in here. So seat removed, and I'll show you how to get to it. So guys, if you have a 450 SS yourself, this little piece right here, this little white piece that has little metal bumpers on it, That is your ECU. Now, you guys might have a regular tail. I have the tail, like the rear seat cowl on. But to get to the ECU, you are gonna have to remove this rear area, but it's super simple. It's just the bolts that I removed, and then it pops off. Ish. There we go. So guys, this is why we needed to remove the little tail section, because this is the mechanism that you're gonna use to disattach the ECU, and that way you can get it out of its little rubber housing here. So all you do, if you wiggle it a little bit, get the little rubber or rubber holes from the metal buckle things, wiggle it back a little bit, and you'll be able to see this little tab. So once you get this piece popped down, you'll just press this all the way in, and it'll unseat right there. You just push it all the way flat, and your connection is off. She's snug in there. And that, my friends, is your ECU. It's way lighter than I think a lot of people are going to expect. Alrighty guys, that's the easy part, or I guess it's the continuation of the easy part, because now all I have to do is mail this thing off, which is kind of the scary part, because now I can't ride my motorcycle. It's totally dead in the water, and I'm mailing this thing off to a company that I've never worked with before. So if I end up having to get another ECU, I'll let you guys know, but everything should be okay. I'm gonna get this thing in the mail. I'll catch back whenever it comes back. We'll see how long it takes. On your mark, get set, go. Just kidding, please be careful with your ECUs. They're literally the brain of your entire motorcycle. So don't F this S up.
All right, guys, what's up? It's your boy, not Chase. Unfortunately, he is still healing up from a motorcycle accident that you may or may not know about. So I am here with the CFMOTO 450 SS, and I'm going to finish up the install and the whole shenanigans with that ECU we sent out to Real Talk Power Sports, a cool partner that reached out to us about our giveaway bike. Now, what you guys may or may not know, because we didn't really record it, is that when they reached out to us, I went ahead and pulled the ECU out of our 300 SS so that we could go ahead and get that sent out as well, so we can get a little bit more power out of this thing. We know there isn't an exhaust, there isn't an intake or anything like that, but any sort of aftermarket tune, especially from the experts over at Real Talk, are going to be able to get more power out of a bike like this, or of course our 450 SS. All right, so today I'm going to go ahead and get these ECUs reinstalled in both these bikes, and then after that we're going to run over to the dyno, big old machine that measures how much power these motorcycles put down to the ground, and see what kind of power gains we can get out of these bikes, assuming the install goes well. Messing with electronics is always a little bit sketchy, so you want to make sure you know what you're doing. So let's get these ECUs reinstalled and rocking and rolling. Sweet. Step one, we're gonna get this box open. Oh snap, we got swag in here too. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, how is this not me on a sticker? Is it time to eat yet? It's your boy Fatty Rick, come on now. Oh, sent old Chase out a t-shirt. More stickers. Dude, this adds so much, oh, that's a corn dog. So much extra, you know, power comes from stickers. You know, if no one told you that every sticker is with 5 horsepower, now you know. Love to see it, and this thing is slap full. Team MSC, get this guy open. Got even more stickers. Oh my gosh, you love to see it. Okay, we've got number 1. And number 2, all right, looks like this guy is the 450, so let's get it hooked up. So Chase did me a huge favor last time and went ahead and got most of this taken apart. So just pop these guys up and out. A little bit of finagling. There we go, oh, I just had to lift up more. And super easy, this is just gonna go back together the way that it came apart. But I think it might be easier to try to get that down in there first. So, come on. Lock that connector down. And before we button everything up, we're gonna put the key in and see if we at least get power. If we get power, then we're good to button her up and see what happens. Dash is on, lights are working. Okay, we have power, I'm happy with that. We'll pull the key out, get it buttoned the rest of the way up, and then we'll get it outside and see if she actually fires. Okay. Moment of truth. Dashboard's on. We got all of our lights and everything still. Great. Fuel pump primes. You love to see that. Still just primed. Okay. Fires right up. Yeah! Okay, wow, that's a great cold start. That was like instant, super quick. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, we're gonna let it warm up for a little while and we'll talk to you in a minute. All right, guys, so we are done with the 450. She fires up beautifully, but we have got to see if our 300 SS goes the same way. From what we've experienced so far, I'm pretty confident, but we'll see. You never know. Like I said, electronics can always be weird. So this guy is super easy. We don't have to take the seat or the back apart at all. It's actually down here on the side of the bike. So gonna be a really, really easy install. We simply plug it in, put 2 bolts in to hold the ECU in place, and then 3 bolts on a plastic cover. Sub 5-minute job. So I'm just gonna sit on the ground here in a second and we'll rock it out. So super easy. We are gonna actually plug this ECU in first to ensure that we can get it plugged in once it's in there. So plugged in, crank the lever over. I know it's hard to see. That locks it in place. And then we will finagle this guy in there like so. Make sure those guys are in there nice and snug, not too tight. It is going into a plastic housing. And then this guy simply sits on there like that. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna see here if we get power. We have power. Let's see if the fuel pump primes. It certainly does. So we're gonna roll this one outside as well and get her fired up. Okay, yeah, so key on, lights up beautifully. Fuel pump primes. Fires right up, holds a nice 1600 RPM off the rip. Definitely running nice and smooth. And again, another super quick cold start, so really happy with that. No check engine lights or anything. Everything looks great. Easy peasy. Real Talk Power Sports out here just flashing all of the world's problems away with ECUs. You love to see it. Wow, and it just shoots straight down to that 1600. Wow, that's really impressive. All right, guys, so up next we are gonna run over to WOW and see if we can strap these down to their dyno and see how much power they make to the ground. Now, as you may or may not know, manufacturers post power figures for all their bikes, but that is to the crank of the bike, that is not to the wheel. So of course that number is gonna be a little bit different after it goes through the transmission, the drive chain, and down to the ground. So we'll see what these guys are making after a real nice ECU flash. I'm expected probably, what, 7-ish% gains, I think is what I've read online. So we'll see what we get, and we'll see you guys over at WOW. I'm gonna go get a trailer, hook it up to the old Subaru. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, we are here at WOW with Mark on his beautiful dyno, and he is our dyno wizard of the day. What he's gonna do is measure the power numbers that this 450 SS produces, as well as our 300 SS. So, sir, we very much appreciate you. Thank you very much. We've got the 450 strapped down, and we're gonna get a couple things prepped and see what happens. Essentially what's happening right now is Mark is doing a couple of warm-ups on the bike just to get everything up to operating temperature, make sure everything is working properly with the dyno and his computer before he makes the first of 3 power runs on our 450 SS with our Real Talk Power Sports ECU Flash on here and our Yoshi slip-on. So let's tune back in as he goes for it. Guys, there is no reason a 450 should sound this good. CFMOTO and Yoshi have done a really good job with this. And I'm pulling the mic up to my face because otherwise I don't think you can hear me. Woo! All right, so first run is done. He's checking over a couple of systems real quick. Got the fans on to cool the bike down as best he can. And looks like the first power graph is up, so let's take a look. All right, guys, we just got done with the 3 runs here on the 450 SS with Mark. We got, let's see here, right about 51 wheel horsepower out of this. So the Real Talk Power Sports, their ECU Flash, the Yoshi slip-on. Now CFMOTO claims a 50 crank horsepower from the factory. So with drivetrain loss, you're probably somewhere around the 45 to 46 mark. So we did pick up a decent percentage in horsepower to the wheel with this tune and the exhaust. We're not sure what picked up the most between the two, but either way, super happy with that result. Give you guys a little bit more power on this giveaway bike. All right, so the 450 is rolled off. We're about to roll the 300 up and we're gonna see what it can do. Now keep in mind, guys, that is a stock bike from a power standpoint. That pertains to exhaust and intake and all that fun stuff. So just the tune on there, we'll see what it does. We'll see what CFMOTO claims and what this Real Talk tune can give us. All right, guys, so we've got the 300 SS strapped up here to the dyno with, again, Mr. Magic Mark. This guy is bone stock. She's warming up a little bit right now, and we're gonna see what kind of power she puts down with that Flash from Real Talk Power Sports. Any expectations?
I have no idea. I never had one of these on the dyno.
Yeah, no idea. First time for everything. Let's find out. So what Mark is doing here, guys, is just running through a throttle cycle to warm the bike up a little bit, get all the engine oil up to temperature, the coolant temperature up to where it needs to be, so that when he makes his power run, it is as normal as possible. I'm not gonna lie, there's something very intoxicating about a bike banging off the rev limiter. Just makes me happy in my soul. All right, 300 SS done and dusted. Ah, that is the comparison. The small lines there on the bottom, guys, is the 300. The big red line is the 450. So a moderate, you know, twice as much power difference here. Kind of interesting. So looking at right at 26, almost 27 wheel horsepower, 26 and a half with the 300 SS. Now they claim 30 crank, so that's kind of about right, what we expected to see. Now this bike, of course, is still all constricted, does not have any sort of intake or air filter in it. It's got its stock exhaust, so we can't expect a big power gain here, but really that power line looks really nice and smooth compared to the ones we've seen online. So I think that's really where they focused here on the 300 SS, is smoothing out that power band and really improving the rideability of the bike. Well, cool, so we are all done and dusted on the 450 and the 300 SS here with Mark at WOW on their dyno. So super grateful to them. Check the link down in the description below. Check out WOW, check out their whole website. We've worked with them before. We're going to continue to work with them. They're fantastic people, and they allow us to do super cool stuff like this. So in our next video, what you guys are gonna see might be a bit of a surprise. We tested on the mechanical dyno, we're gonna test on the old butt dyno and see how these bikes really feel as we're out riding them around. So tune into the next one as we see how much shenanigans we can possibly get into. Knowing me on a Papio, it can only go downhill from here. All right, guys, and if you wanna win either of these bikes, the 450 SS or the 300 SS, of course, go over to our website, wbrgarage.com. There you can find out a way to enter. You can enter for as little as $5 a month, or you can buy individual pieces of merchandise, and then you don't have a monthly recurring thing, but you only get the entries for that. So if it's me, I got a bunch of t-shirts, although I can't win. Wait a minute, that kind of, anyway. Either way, outro crew, thank you guys for sticking around to the very end of the video. It is much appreciated. My question for you guys is, did you expect to see more of a jump or less of a jump? How do we feel about the CFMOTO producing 51 horsepower, the 450 producing 51 horsepower, the 300 right about that 26 and a half mark? Both of which I kind of expected, but what did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Drop an OC at the beginning of your comment, so it lets me know that you watched all the way to the end of the video. We love you guys so very much. Hit that bell notification if you want it to be useless, because we've given up on YouTube. We've got a newsletter you can find in the description down below, which Chase and myself and the whole team, we send out every week on Friday afternoons as a recap for what happened the week before. So jump down there, check it out, and I'll see you gang on the next one.
Oh my God, okay. Oh Jesus, I'm having a good time. It's one of those is good.
I don't know where the key is for this. Oh, it's right there. Mystery hand. Oh, stab myself right in the titty. Ah!